Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm extremely excited for today's Fire Chat on the NUSTIAN USA YouTube channel. Uh, with me today is Salman Illyas, and the reason I'm really excited is because of his running journey and things that he has achieved over the years um, uh, throughout that journey. So Salman is from degree 25 mechanical engineering, and he has been running for more than 12 years. He has ran 7 marathons, and the best being in New York City,
Right.
3 hours 11 minutes, right?
Right.
And the average time for the New York City marathon is 4 hours 24 minutes. So that is, well, I'll let you decide. It's really, really fast. So thank you very much, Salman, for spending the time. And it really is my pleasure, and I'm super excited to be talking with you today. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. Really excited to talk to you.
Great. तो आप थोड़ा सा अपना जर्नी के बारे में बताएंगे कि how did you move from NUST, came to LA,
Right.
what you've been up to?
Yep. I came to the US in 2007, right after I finished my bachelor's at EME. So I came to University of Washington in Seattle for my master's. So I spent 2 years there, and then I finished my master's and then moved to Los Angeles to a company called Arup. And basically, I've been there for the past 12, 13 years now. As a mechanical engineer, mostly designing hospitals and healthcare facilities um, uh, related to HVAC design specifically. But yeah, that's been my focus over the last 12, 13 years. And within that, obviously, I do a little bit of running as well.
Oh, very nice, very nice. So how did you get into running? थोड़ा सा उसका background बताएंगे?
Yeah.
And have you always been very active?
In Pakistan, I was actively playing a lot of cricket. When I moved to Seattle, I still found some avenues to play cricket, so I was playing there. Then I got married. I moved to LA. There was not much of cricket, and then I was not physically very active for a couple of years, and I started to gain a lot of weight as well. And I think it was around 2009. I went to play soccer with some of my office friends, and after running for like 5 minutes, I was throwing up on the sides, and I was 24, 25 at the time, and I was like, okay, this is not good, you know. So when I went back, I stood on a weighing machine, and it read 199 pounds. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna see 200 pounds on the scale. So after that, I just picked up running because it seemed like something I naturally enjoyed. So I started as a means to lose weight. And so I lost about 40, 45 pounds at the time in a couple of years to lose weight. And then I got hooked to running as well. But I lost too much that people started saying, hey, you're looking a little bit sick. So I gained a little bit back. But that's kind of how I started.
Running, did it impact your personal life, professional life? What are the positives, like other than the health benefits and now you're super in shape? What are the benefits that you found?
Yeah, I think it naturally affects your personality. Obviously, I live a much healthier lifestyle now. I'm happier. I'm more energetic. I can do things with my kids. But I think there's some things that I've when I look back, I realized that they've just become part of my personality. And one of them is patience. I feel like from doing my long runs, you learn to be really patient, right? You have to take it slow. You're running for 3-4 hours, sometimes training for marathons. You're going out consistently, so there's a lot of focus and there's a lot of patience, and I feel like that's something that's become part of who I am, at work, at home, anywhere. The other thing is discipline. I think is something I picked up. Running is, believe it or not the most important thing in my life. My family is number one. And then work is really important. I really enjoy doing my work, and so running comes kind of number three. But then I have to find a way to prioritize things, and I have to find a way to fit it in. So I try to have my schedule so that I can fit in running with everything else, and not the other way around. So it's taught me discipline in ways that I can still pursue my running but not neglect the things that I prioritize more than running, right? So those are a couple of things that I think have just been part of my personality, and I think even sometimes in long runs or in races, you reach a point where you're breaking down, the wheels are falling off, things don't go to plan, and
Right.
there's pressure, and I feel like in life and in work you face similar scenarios, right? And uh, I often am known for just staying calm under pressure, and perhaps that's something I picked up from running as well.
So perseverance, patience, grit.
Yeah, I can say that. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. I mean, these are definitely like things that come very handy in our personal lives,
Yeah.
professional lives, and just the general disposition that you have towards different things that you
Right.
come across. So let's talk about a little bit of myths about running. People a lot of the times they say कि भाई आपके घुटनों के लिए रनिंग अच्छी नहीं है, आप भागेंगे घुटने आपके खराब हो जाएंगे and stuff of that sort. So is it? Do you think it's like for anyone or everyone? Can people just get up and take it on, or it has to
It's
be something like built like you?
No, it's absolutely for everyone. It's if you look at my pictures from 14, 15 years ago, then I was not like this.
Mhm.
I'm fitter now than I was, when I was 24, 25.
Mhm.
So absolutely anyone can pick it up. And I think the fact that it can आपके घुटने खराब हो जाएंगे, your knees get hurt, it is you called it. It's a myth, in my opinion. I've seen people of all ages, all abilities, run marathons, run long distances. I've run some big city marathons, LA Marathon, New York Marathon, and you see people who are, 70, 80 years old.
Oh.
They're running right next to each other, right next to me. There was a guy who was in the same wave when I was running New York. He was 75, 80 years old, and he was holding the same pace as me, 3 hours, 10, 11 minutes.
Oh wow.
And so far I haven't run into any, seasoned runners who are complaining about their knees.
Mhm.
There's always injuries along the way. I get injuries. I think we'll talk a little bit about cross training, but it's making sure that you're doing some cross training, some strength work, and you're methodical and strategic with how you increase your mileage. Will help your longevity. But absolutely, it does not impact your knees. But if you're obviously not careful and you overdo it, then it could have negative impacts. You can pick up injuries. But yeah, I think anyone can pick up running.
So we are on the topic of cross training and injury and that kind of stuff. So how can somebody get into running? So if there was somebody watching, and what would be your advice? कि कहाँ से शुरू करें, क्या करें?
Yeah, I think you have to start small, and if you're just getting into it, set small targets. And for example, when I was trying to lose weight, my goal was not to lose 40, 45 pounds, right? My first goal was, okay, get to 5 pounds. Every time I hit a 5 pound increment, I used to be super, excited and pumped and ready to go. Sometimes it took longer, sometimes it happened faster. But set some goals and motivate any goals that would motivate you, right? Reward yourself. I like to reward myself, or I used to. Okay, if I lose 20 pounds, I buy a new pair of shoes, something like that. So, and I think it's just important also to make sure that you listen to your body. I've seen a lot of people who do too much too fast, and then you run for a month and then you're out of commission for 4 or 5 months, right? So the goal is you want to keep running, and by slowly increasing your mileage, being careful with how fast you run, understanding your body. If your body is telling you, hey, you gotta back down, slow down, take a day off, take 2 days off, you have to do that. But yeah, just get out there, lace up some shoes, and go out, see how it feels. And I know people say it's so hard. I feel miserable for first 10, 15, 20 minutes and I'm done. But the more you do it, the easier it gets, and then you reach a point where you keep pushing those limits a little bit every time. So yeah, just get out
That's
there.
a very interesting point that you just mentioned. Pushing the limits. Um, Another thing that comes out of this conversation is also it it allows you to actually define newer limits
Yeah,
around yourself, right? So you're constantly pushing it. You're always discovering that there's a there's a different version of you that's out there
absolutely.
that remains to be
When
discovered.
That's a great point. And when I started my marathon, my first marathon was 4 hours and 14 minutes. And I thought getting under sub 4 would be so cool, right? And then I did a sub 4 in my second marathon. But then I wasn't running doing marathons as often early on. But getting close to sub 3 looked like, oh, I can't do that. That's not for me. I'm not gonna get there. But now I'm thinking, I'm right there. I'm
Right.
gonna go for it. I know I can do it. But it takes time. You slowly build on it. But yeah, something what your mind cannot fathom at one point in time doesn't mean that it's not doable at a different point in time. But it's just going to happen at its own time frame. So
Well, we are definitely looking forward to a sub 3 marathon by you, inshallah, in the near future. Um, Tell us about the diet when you're running so much.
Yeah.
Can you just go out and eat anything and everything that you want?
I really enjoy my diet during marathons. I do eat a lot of carbs because they really fuel you. And I love carbs. I think, but in general, I've formed a really healthy relationship with food. I'm not afraid of putting on a few pounds when I'm not in peak training season, because I know it'll come off as well. And I have a big sweet tooth, so I like my desserts. I don't count calories. I don't count my macros, which is not a bad thing to do. I did count those things when I was trying to specifically lose weight. But over time, I know how much my body needs, how much I need to eat, how much I need to fuel myself. But every once in a while, if I want to indulge, I don't hold back. I've reached the point where I just have a healthy relationship with food. I try to make good choices most of the time, but every once in a while, if I need to grab a slice of pizza or eat a good burger, I go for it.
Great, great. That's really liberating, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I love food, so believe it or not, it really running actually enables me to eat a little bit more freely. But obviously, you got to be careful to, especially if you're losing weight, because then it can have the opposite. Because you get really hungry when you run, and some people can end up eating more than they burn, and then you won't see the same net loss in your weight. So it's important to see what your goals are and kind of plan according to that.
So if there is one message for the listeners with regards to running or anything that you've learned during your running experience, what would it be if you just want to capture it?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things. One thing, so over the last 3-4 years, I really upped my running routine and how I train. And one of the major changes that I've made is making sure that I run 80% of my runs at an easy pace. and about 20% of my runs are at a harder effort. So making sure that you run your easy runs at an easy pace is really critical. It's actually helped me become faster. I think the key to running faster, believe it or not, is to run slower most of the time, right? You're not going to, if you're running at, your tempo or faster paces all the time, you're not giving your body a chance to recover. And then you're not running as much, or running as efficiently. Your form starts to drop. So by running slower, I can run more. By running more, I can be a better runner. And then throwing in some workouts in between has helped me, increase my pace and my, longevity, and I'm able to, keep pushing how much I can run per week. So, the bottom line is, if you want to run faster, if you want to run longer, you got to run slower.
Slow down.
Yeah, slow down.
Slow down.
Yeah.
All right, great. Last question, Salman, for you. Any plans for the Boston Marathon?
Absolutely.
When?
I want to qualify for it. So
Mhm.
my qualifying time for that is based on my age group is less than 3 hours 5 minutes. So I'm right there. I'm pretty close. So maybe next year. But if I hit that sub 3, then I would qualify for Boston easily. And then
Awesome.
That's
Good
the
luck
plan.
for that, and we definitely look forward to that. Inshallah, we'll be
Yeah.
following you.
absolutely. Thank
Alright.
you so much. I
Thank you
appreciate
very
it.
much, Salman.